Go button. Go button has been clickified. Terrified, petrified, stupefied. I heard a boop. I heard a bleep.
Clack. Yes, it blooped. So now, yes, we are live.
Oh, schnitzel, son.
Yeah.
Schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
Never
I had
had
sausage for breakfast. Hot and spicy pork sausage that Tesco sells. Those are good.
Hot
Like
and-
bread roll.
Sounds horrifying, you monster. There was
Those are actually really, really good.
like a PETA billboard in it, and like horses and like a giraffe that it had dogs and cats, then like ducks and stuff like that. It was like, where would you draw the line? And somebody chopped it up in a line. It was like post-apocalyptic world. It was like financial difficulty. Right. All right. It's like, well played. Well played. Hey, beautiful people. What's going on? We are just getting set up. We got about 10 minutes. We are going to be loving you and leaving you. We're going to do the pre-show. Pedro's got Valentine's Day. I got stuff I got to go play with. Plus, I got the gas man coming to bring me stuff, and I got to go sign. So if I disappear during the show, Pedro, that's something I forgot to tell you. I'm filling out government paperwork that I got to legally say I have this stuff at my house, and the guy makes me do it. He won't sign it for me because...
Okay.
Yeah. Linux Daily Lunch Wednesday is making me hungry. Hey, Jill, what's up, Pizza, Arthur, and Katana Steel? Also, I'm going to be, like, sick of nicotine. We were discussing that because a Vapotron I pre-ordered in October finally showed up. It's like, oh, I'm going to play with that and make myself ill. Oh, it's beautiful.
I got that nauseous feeling from way too much nicotine from when the previous coil got a bit soaked. Like it was coming directly into my mouth. I could taste the nicotine. It's like, oh.
It's good times. Okay, that's set up. That's set up. So I updated my BIOS yesterday. I don't know if you guys caught it on the Meet the Freeman stream. I was in Nightmaresville because it re-enumerated how it detected the PCI Express slots. And it flipped that business. And Linux kind of started with a kernel. Yeah, BC images started loading up. It's like, something's wrong, man. Something's wrong. Started tapping. And maybe like 2.5, 3 hours later, I had a working system again. That was a thing. It was a learning experience.
I mean, they call those BIOS updates betas for a reason.
Hey, man. I also learned you cannot downgrade the BIOS on this. So now you can do the beta BIOS, then like side grade to the current stable, but you cannot roll back. I learned that. So we're doing a little bit YOLO. I'm running the Vengeance RAM at 3200. The Ryzen 7 is at 3.7 gigajoules, and Pedro's video is coming in over Discord, so it's me. I like stacking problems.
It's Discord. It's about time we had an Electron app to prove just how good Electron apps can be.
This is true.
Also, hi, Jill. I did see your little thingy.
I'm glad that's not out of context on the internet. And also, Steve's not little. He's a grown man.
No. Steve's tall, yeah. Not Strider tall, but tall.
We shouldn't be vaping, man. We don't have enough neck tattoos or our like sports hats on backwards, and we got to blow it like directly in the cam.
And those really thick glasses with the well, I am wearing flip-flops and socks, so there's that. I got that going for me.
We got to start stretching our... You don't have any piercings, do you?
No.
Huh.
I do have a tattoo, but no piercings.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't think Jordan... Well, no. I don't think... No, Jordan doesn't have any tattoos either.
I can start doing the show, like, looking over my shoulders.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm the same way. You got to get deep down and personal with old man Venn before you start seeing his tats. So... I only kept one earring, too. So, there's that.
Never really... Piercings were never really my thing. Tattoos, though, I like that. And the guy who did the tattoos, like, yeah, it's going to hurt, but it doesn't hurt a lot. And you're going to kind of start enjoying the pain, and then after a few months, you're going to want another one. And admittedly, I kind of want another tattoo.
Man, I remember the first time I got inked. I mean, just outlined. It's not shading, just outlined. Like, it's going to hurt. I was like... Seriously, the prescription heroin I'm on right now says different.
Yeah, no. I was not under the effect of anything when I went in, and like halfway through, it was like, okay, let's take a break, grab a smoke. It's like, oh God, thank you, yes.
No, listen, I wasn't bitching out, but I've shattered the entire right side of my body and was airlifted. But all kind of crap, and I'm held together with pins. I'm not a stickler for self-inflicted pain, man. And I asked the dude,
I'm a little bit of a masochist, yeah.
It's like, can I drink? He's like, no, it thins your blood. And it's like, all right, fine. Boop, popped a Percocet. I was like, all right, let's go. Hopefully the internet won't get too squirrely. Like it did last week. We're still waiting on a new modem. Didn't plan on spending that money, but yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah.
So, buying for this month is kind of tapping the brakes. I was looking forward to getting Jordan a new camera.
Is he still on the C320?
It's no, it's better than the other Logic crap. What was mine? A 5 something? Frank's cam. 510? C510, I think. It's better than that, because I was going to send him that one, then he read off what his was. I was just going to get him like a C920.
Yeah.
Or whatever you have.
The other one around here somewhere. It's tucked away behind the monitors. There you go. This is the C270. Okay. It was the cheapest one I could find that did 720p.
Hit Technic.
Oh, I also have another thing tucked away behind the monitors. 750 Ti.
Hey man, I really wish I had like a 750 Ti instead of the 770 flamethrower I have. Just like, what do I do? It's like you effectively power 3 monitors and 2D display. That's your life, man.
Yeah, this one is going in after I get a probably a 4K monitor. Once they drop a little more, because paying £300 for one is still a bit much. But yeah, this one is just going to drive the two 1080p monitors, and the yeah, just do that. The 1080 is going to drive the 4K.
Right on. See, yeah, if they weren't stupid, I would just like use my own cash and pretend that I'm loaning it to our company. And just buy a 1070 Ti, then use the 980 as the secondary card, because then I could do VD in VN code lossless, which I can't do with the 770, which irritates me. And it would be an updated profile on the 1070 Ti. So why don't you get a 1080? Because I don't need it. Honestly, the 980 is tits for games. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
Still. And I want to get all the traction I can out of that card because it was like almost $700.
And if you are looking to buy a GPU right now, don't wait till they drop a little bit more and get a 1060. It's
True.
a 980.
Even with the
really
mining
cheap
stuff,
980.
dude. Even with the mining stuff, man, Newegg and everybody else is still trying to hold on to that price, though. They're like, oh, we don't know if we want to come down on those prices just yet. And everyone's like, you know what? We're going to be patient. You got to drop them eventually. Because you see a lot of the Vegas and stuff like that are in stock right now. But they are $1,200.
Yeah. Also, Steve-O, now the eBay listing that I was watching is basically sold out. I think as soon as people got wind of it, there were only like 8 left when I found it, and I started watching it. And 2 days later, it was gone. They were all sold. Apparently, those are really good Chromebooks. People want them. And the cheapest one I can find right now is £220. So, no.
Oh, that router we're planning on getting. We were going to do a combo modem router thing, but we had to get the modem. Long story.
Yeah.
But that router, which is also which is a shameless plug, it's like $89 with a $10 coupon right now. Of course it is. After we blow
Yeah.
It's the Nighthawk. It's really good if you're out there looking for one. I just want to throw that out there if anybody's looking for a decent, because you can also put a Plex server on one of those things.
Yeah, Steve-O, it's the Acer R11 with the touchscreen. It's just a dual core, but I really want the 4 gig model because Android apps. That's the big selling point behind that one. It's got a touchscreen and it supports Android apps. So, yeah.
All right, we got to get with it.
Okay. I wrote a bit of a rundown.
Yep. Boop, boop. That's not giving away too much. You can see me sitting with my crossed legs. Deal with it. All right. I think we're good. All right.
That's the Windows version there, Steve-O.
Let's do this.
The Chromos.
Okay. So many times I screw these shots up. Okay, you're launching, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that, boom, boom, boom. Okay. In 3, 2.
Netflix counts to 1080p.
Electron is trending.
There's a new KDE Slim book.
In town, you might say, and Razer. Yeah, it's being a big old meanie, but it's another great day for Linux, everyone. So let's go. 2. And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we're going to sit back, relax. Oh, hang on. I got this new shot here. I can kind of reach over to Pedro and smack him. And talk about some of the great things that we found personally going on in the world of Linux. Before we get started, we do like to put a little bit of ketchup, man, and maybe a little bit of mustard, but no Grey Poupon. How's Britannia treating you this week, man?
It's very cold. I actually have cold sores down the side of my face because, yeah, it turns out walking out of the house in 50 kilometers an hour wind when it's -2 outside, it's not good for your skin. So, yeah.
Not much to report over here. I had a fun time. If you have an MSI B350 Tomahawk and you do the update to your BIOS, which is out, it's like 7 days ago, be careful if you're running dual GPUs because it enumerates them differently and it'll cause you all types of pain. But you can run your 3000 gigajoule memory at 3200. That's the thing. Good. That made me kind of all the happy. But one thing I was talking to Pedro about before we went live is before that with the XMP profile, I was able to run it at 2933. The speed difference between 2933 and 3200, nothing. Nada. And that was through our gauntlet of gaming benchmarks that we run in video encoding benchmarks. And listen, I understand it's a feel-good number. 3,200 makes I'm going to sleep better this evening knowing I'm at 3,200. But just kind of tap the brakes on this. But you must run it for the ultimate. It doesn't really matter. But what does matter, VLC 3.0 is here for our faces, baby.
Indeed. And, well, there's not a whole lot going on, even though it's a big version number. They do have a sizable list of features. They have experimental will and support. Experimental still. They introduced support for the Samsung DeX dockable devices, which we've talked about on the show. It's that Samsung dock that you just plug your phone in and it turns into a desktop. So that's good to see. We kind of need that backing software if we are to ever consider that old motto the ideal scenario in my case. You just come home, you take your phone, you plug it into a dock, and there you go. There's your PC. The dock is plugged into an external GPU that runs 2 or 3 monitors. Boom, Bob's your uncle. That is the end case scenario for me. That's like the perfect world. But this is VLC. If you want to play your videos and you have a Samsung phone and the DeX dock, there you go.
One of the big things that I saw, man, was it now has support for 4K, well, UHD 3040 by 2160, or actual 4K video decoding at something faster than the speed of smell. And I say that as somebody with a 1700 16-thread Ryzen running at 3.7 gigahertz, and I've been looking to try that. Maybe I don't know. I don't have a lot. I have 4K content ish through Netflix, but we'll talk about that in a second. That's really the big thing that I saw. I don't typically use VLC or media players on PCs anymore. I'm just kind of like Plex all the things nowadays.
Yeah, I still use VLC mostly for watching videos, what I get from the local video store, because you'd never really know what kind of codecs they used. And VLC just plays anything you throw at it. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see on this video bandwidth wagon thing, because Netflix 1080p is not something that we've been able to experience in Linux because it's been 720p, but there's now a Chrome extension that will force it into 1080p, and I will tell you that it works. How does it work? Well, the core of Netflix playback lies in JavaScript, Cadmium Player Core.js, and it's poorly enforced, it turns out. So with this, it's really easy to get that business up and running. I wanted to give it a mention because that's always annoyed me. Not, again, I don't watch. It's rare. I might check something out in a browser to see if I'm going to go watch it later, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit and watch, even though I got a 28-inch UHD display. Nope. But it's just been bugging me that I couldn't do it, and now I can. That makes me happy. I thought we would just tell the lovely people about that, because it's open source. It's on GitHub. You can inspect it and use it, because, listen, man, I see what you said in the notes, keeping it locked down and all that. I don't think Netflix, formerly Quickster, I'm not going to let you guys forget that. I don't think they want you to be able to watch it how you want to watch it, anywhere you want to watch it, period. It's the studios. There's like, you need to stop piracy.
Because Netflix is, I get that. Netflix is in it for the money, and if they can give the best possible experience to people on Linux, regardless of whatever distro they're using, all the better for them, because it means more money they get from people. That's great, but there are those studios who, for some reason, are really, really petty.
Well, you got to think about
something like,
4K. What is the 4K on the desktop requires? Like Microsoft Edge browser with the HDCP whatever encryption through the video. It is ridiculous.
DRM chipset thing, DRM bit in the chipset,
or what? Yeah, it's just not something that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Good plugin. Give it a try if that is your thing. Open source projects, trends for 2018. A couple of smart things in here, man.
Yeah, there are a couple of smart things, and then there's the really big one, which is, you guessed it, Electron Framework apps. Oh, no, wait, no, sorry. They call it cross-platform development.
Oh,
Yes,
no, that's
we've come down to that.
student athletes. Okay.
So yeah, the big one is cross-platform development, and they give you an example like Angular, Facebook React, and Electron, of course. Electron apps, because it's the Flash of 2018.
Oh yeah.
Electron apps.
No, man, listen, I'm down with it. One can only hope with because of course there's a ton of machine learning, AI and all that, because that was the hotness in 2017. It's probably going to be the hotness in 2018 when you think about it. But, maybe, just maybe the rise in this machine learning, with like any luck, when the singularity happens, it's going to realize that just electrons rubbish and nope it from orbit. Then it's going to go find Sarah Connor and we'll be done with it. So
Yeah.
that's definitely a thing. But on the topic of Electron, something that we did want to bring up is Discord. Not only are we using Discord for Pedro's audio and video right now, they're adding a long requested feature, Spielcheck. And it is slowly rolling out.
The squiggly line is back.
Oh, man. A blessed squiggly red line. And currently it's only on Mac, but they do say it will be rolling out to Windows and Linux when they're happy with the state of it. Now,
They're testing on Mac.
well,
They're testing on Mac.
hey, man. That's probably what it's being developed on. Come on, let's be real.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Discord's a decent piece of kit. It's kind of like Telegram or business messaging for people with the 9-year-old mentality, myself included in that. So I'm not knocking you. I'm digging it, man. Just enable it on Linux because I can't spiel anymore. That has been beaten out of me, and Google is taking I'm already down on the ground, and Google's winding up again to destroy my English grammar with doing the grammar correction in Google Docs when I'm typing. It's like, I don't even have to worry about grammar anymore. It's going to sort that for me too. Yeah, I am definitely terrified when I don't have there's been multiple times where I've just cracked open Thunderbird Composer to paste something. I was like, did I spell that right? And it's like, yeah, you still know how to do it, but once your brain loses that skill.
It's a muscle like any other, and people of our generation have come to rely on Mr. Red Squiggly Line, as you put it, because it's just really, really useful. Sometimes it's an L too little, sometimes it's a U where it wasn't supposed to be, especially when it comes down to English US and English UK differentiation. Yeah.
Good to see it. Get it out sooner than later. So, snaps, we talk about them, it seems like every week, but hey, that's what we're here for if we find it interesting. And this could be kind of affecting some people, man. Default snaps in Ubuntu 1804 LTS, they're looking into making that a thing. And, hey, man, look, I'm cool with it, as long as I'm free not to use them for a while, because I think they have a lot of maturing to do. Snap definitely needs a lot more time in the oven. However, Pedro, I want to say this. I do think this will be good for Snap as a whole, just development and package maintainers, because it's going to force the maintainers to love it, and that works so well with Google+.
Oh yeah, that works great. No, I do love Google Plus, and I kind of like the idea of universal packages. Of course, the moment you introduce, something like snaps or flat packs that need sort of a runtime, a framework that they then run off of, that kind of sort of defeats the purpose, in my opinion. I've voiced my concerns about these universal packages and the inherent lack of universality that they come with.
I think Snap's got the best chance because everyone does, the asterisk Ubuntu. And once this flips over, we're going to see it start flowing downstream with immense and everything else.
There's just one thing they really need to fix with snaps, which is that stupid little lowercase snap folder that it puts in your home directory. hide that. Put it in .local share. Make it .snap. Just hide it. Put it away somewhere.
Meh.
Okay?
The virtual loopback devices. Let's get rid of those. This is staggeringly, frighteningly like what.
It's the Amazon thing all over again.
This just came across while we were getting ready and set up for the show, but we wanted to cover it. This is also Ubuntu related. Welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Ubuntu. Okay, more diagnostic data from the desktop. This is on their mailing list, and I genuinely can't believe what I'm reading here, Pedro. It's like, do you like internet pitchforks? Is that the end game here? Because this is what I would do if I wanted me some of that. They want to add a checkbox to the installer that is completely harmless. I mean, to me, I think it's going to collect some data during the install, the flavor, RAM, CPU, screens, GPU, OEM manufacturer, disk layout, stuff like that. That's not bad at all. I don't have a problem with that. I'm cool with that, 100%. If I saw that box, I would probably check it because I like helping stuff out. I have that on for Chrome. I have that on for Foxfire. And the only reason, why are we bringing this up, Pedro?
Well, we're bringing this up because this isn't exactly the first time that Ubuntu has sort of, kind of, purposefully uploaded people's usage habits to their servers, and whether or not they disclose your personal information, that is very much up for debate. Although they made sure to be very clear when the whole Amazon Lens thing in Unity came out, and it was on by default the whole freaking time that your searching habits were being sent to first to Canonical, then to Amazon, then fed back to you as an ad.
But Pedro, they've learned from that.
Oh yeah, clearly. Well, they did. They did learn a little bit from it, and now they actually give you the little tick box now that is on by default. You can untick it if you want, but at least the option is there. And if you pay attention while you're installing your system, it's there. And to be honest, if it is just during the install and the options you picked and what system you're installing it on and just that stuff, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it. I think it's completely benign. There's not a big issue with it. Yes, 2017, 2018, everything should be, all of the shite storms that have happened is because something has been opt-in. Not, well, that's fine, but as soon as I have, the default is I have to go disable it, then the internet goes crazy. So, this is still a thing. We can melt people's faces with USB keys, right?
Yeah, we do. There are those fake USB flash drives that'll fry your laptop, but there's also a bit of an exploit. Well, there was a bit of an exploit with KDE that, that you can, you used to be able to plug in a flash drive, and if the name field contained $, open parentheses, close parentheses, it would interpret it as a bash command.
Hang on. I gotta tap the brakes with what Mike said. Wow, that sounds pretty horrible. This is why I still mount things the old way.
Yeah, sure. Of course you do. So the thing is, with KDE, when you plug in a flash drive, it gives you a little slidey out pop-up from the Mountable Devices app in the tray, and it gives you an option. Do you want to mount it? Do you want to open the folder with whatever file explorer is your default? If you've got pictures in it, can you open it in like Shotwell or any other app that you have set as the default photo app? And all that. That sounds great. Except, like I was saying, if your drive is called $, open parentheses, a bash command, close parentheses, all it did, instead of mounting it, was run the bash command that was inside the parentheses. That's really bad. That's like Windows 2000 level bad. So you really done goofed on that one, KDE.
It's KDE thing. I don't have to worry about it if I'm not running KDE. So
yeah, I am, because I'm stubborn and stupid.
All right. That's the PSA. That's what that was there for. Yesterday, I learned there's a tool called apt file that helps you solve CMake dependencies because your life has went horribly wrong and you're having to compile something with CMake. I threw this in because I didn't know about it. This is supposed to be about things we find interesting, and it's like, wow, that's interesting. You know, you can put it in with just sudo apt install apt file, and it's going to track down the depths. Didn't get a chance to play with it, but you think I'm just stupid monkey sauce, and there's a better tool.
It's not just me. The very top high-rated comment there is Doom007, and he mentions AutoApt, which is what you should be using. It just gets rid of most of the dependency tracking.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind everyone, anyone who says things like what you should be using is dealing in absolute, that means they're a Sith. Don't trust them.
I never claimed to be a good guy. AutoApt is sort of like apt file. In apt file, you just run it, you point it at the CMake file, and it will give you the dependencies and what you need to install. From there, you just install the dependencies, run CMake again, and it should build just fine. With AutoApt, you just run AutoApt, CMake, and whatever you want to suffix to this CMake command, be it a dot, 2 dots for the previous directory in the tree, or whichever file you want to point it at, and it will do the auto-resolve. And it's not just CMake, it does that with make, and it does that with configure. So, yeah, it saves you a hell of a lot of time hunting down dependencies.
I spent too many years learning how to read CMake's butchered output of what it actually needs, and everything you just described sounds like it's going to suck all the fun out of it. I'm not going to have my day-long project getting X compiled. And, no, that's cool to know. Definitely a thing to play with. So, we got an email like 2 or 3 days ago, and they're like, hey, man, we have released a new KDE Slim book, and could you change the name on your last Slim book review to like old or something like that? So we changed it to 2017,
version, yeah.
Right? So there wouldn't be confusion. Plus, we didn't have enough room to write what we really thought about it. But they're back, man. For round 2, KDE Slim book numero dos.
Yep, it is number 2. It is a teeny tiny little bit smaller. Weighs about the same. It still has a 13.3-inch display, 1080p like the old one. Seems to have a bit more USB ports this time around. Doesn't even have the adapter for the Ethernet port anymore because it's just got a Type-C now, so you can just run it off that. It's got the base version comes with an Intel i5 2.5 gigahertz with a turbo of 3.1, and the high-end version comes with a 2.7 i7 with 3.5 gigahertz turbo. It is it doesn't have iris graphics, which is probably still my biggest complaint with the specs, the inside specs anyway. But my biggest complaint with the previous Slim book was a keyboard. That keyboard was atrocious. The keys were huge. There was enough space for you to write your master's dissertation in between the actual keycaps. The power button was where the delete button should be. And looking at the pictures for this one, they didn't really change that at all.
Well, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
My first thought was anybody releasing a laptop right now going, oh, jeez, because everyone else, the consumer ends, is like, y'all get any more of them Ryzens?
Yeah.
At least in the circles of the people that I've definitely talked to. Here's the thing, about 1,000 wet, stinky American dollars for a usable system config, and I consider 8 gigajoules of RAM because it ships with 4. That's criminal. That should not be a shipping option. But yeah, man, I mean, this is basically a CPU refresh, DDR4 memory. That's good. Better Wi-Fi, 2 Wi-Fi options. Good on that. And, oh boy, a clicky touchpad. Okay, that's the thing.
Yeah. To be fair, they did change one more thing, which I did not like with the original version, which was around the screen, you didn't just have like the plastic but painted metallic bezel. They also had a really thin plastic tab around the screen to raise it up from the keyboard so you wouldn't get the grease from your fingers off the keyboard and onto the screen. The review unit that they sent me, that particular plastic tab was crusty as all hell.
Well-
They got rid of that, so that's good.
There's nothing I can say that'll be on this show that would make it past me on the edit, so we're just going to leave that there. Cutting edge, man. This is not news, according to Pedro.
No, this isn't news. And you may have seen this. It was all over Google+, it was all over Twitter. Razer doesn't care about Linux from the GNOME blogs. So a person who wrote this, Hugh C., he apparently realized that Razer, being the gaming seller of gaming peripherals and gaming laptops and gaming desktops, I guess, they don't really support Linux. And he was trying to get LVFS support and all the benefits that comes with it integrated into GNOME. And he contacted Razer, and Razer basically gave him the PR-friendly answer of, we have discussed your offer with a dedicated team, and we are thankful for your enthusiasm and for your good idea. I'm afraid I also have to let you know that at this moment in time, our support to software is only focused on Windows and Mac. In other shocking news, Sky reportedly still blue.
Why do you hate people who are colorblind?
Okay, water's still wet.
Give me 30 seconds and I'll have something for that, all right?
Well, I honestly don't see how this is news, and anyone who would be surprised by Razer saying, yeah, we don't actually support Linux, shouldn't really be writing blog posts, especially ones in the GNOME official blog. Now, I hate GNOME. I've gotten to the point where I don't really care what GNOME does or says or whatever. But really? Do you really decide to throw your toys out of the pram and bang your widow baby feet on the floor saying, Razer was mean to me? Really?
Man,
really?
You're just being mean, man. Here's what I think. I think, dude, just like learned a life lesson, like right then and there, man. That is very important. That is a part of everyone's emotional development. Is don't believe anything said by a soulless corporation, even if it's your favorite team that you've artificially subscribed to. You know, that's why I don't do this. It's like, my soulless corporation's better than yours. No, tribalism sucks, and it's been screwing up humanity for a long time. You judge them by what they do, by their actions. A lot of people give me static. I'm like, hey, man, I like NVIDIA. And they're like, no, AMD, they love open source, and they do that. And yeah, they say a lot of that. But while they're saying that, NVIDIA is like, oh, you know that card we released yesterday? Where's your Linux drivers? I'm like, oh, thanks. Take me a cup of that. Okay. That's the thing. Listen, I personally believe if your gerbil looks like a spaceship and or requires drivers for additional functionality, you've made poor life choices. That's just me. Send me some hate mail and tell me why I'm wrong like I am about most things. Pale Moon. We all learned what Pale Moon was today. Well, not today, this week in our Discord chat. Very, very serious fan of that particular product. It's a web browser, I think, if I remember correctly. And this is one way to sort the issue, Pedro. What? All right. They had a config that conflicted with something. Now, this is for the BSD ports. But this could easily roll over into anything open source. It was OpenBSD work in progress, right? The tree they used to maintain, get everything, migrate ports into the official BSD ports tree. Dude came in and he's like, yo, man, you got to comply with the directive, and the directive says you need to change this and this, and just walk right in, kick the door down. And so there's like, you know what? Poof.
Gone.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? We're not even going to deal with the Pale Moon project anymore. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is 100% ain't got time for this move. And I unfortunately think that kind of speaks a volume or two about Pale Moon, because I feel well over 95% of people's first reaction to this story was to Google what Pale Moon was.
Yeah, what the hell's a Pale Moon? But no, it is... In this specific case, the way he walked in and it just started lashing out, no! The way you do the default configs goes against our redistribution policy. So you will change it, or you will not be allowed to use it. And yeah, the thread ends up locked with one of the BSD developers going, "Yeah, that's a great way to alienate people from your project. Kudos." And I kind of have to agree. If you go in guns blazing, swinging left and right, yeah, people are not going to touch your little bit of software in their operating system because they don't want to deal with that. And this is also going to leave a mark.
On top of that, man, we need to point out the guy that was trying to blow him up, not responsible for blowing people up in that project at all.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't I get in touch with the person who makes these decisions from Pale Moon, not you? Oh, and it's fun to read. Make some popcorn. You're not going to learn anything. It is open source, egos, drama online.
Yeah.
Nothing
plenty
more,
of that.
Nothing less. Real quick, before we get into the slice of pie, we like to thank the people making this show possible. That is our Patreons, patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. That is where we get to read your name out. Yeah, we do it. We publicly shame you. We're like, haha, look at this, buddy. You make this possible. We don't do commercials, and you keep us honest. You know, what we say might be wrong. You might disagree with it, but you know we're not being influenced in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And we got a gang of people. This one, Pedro.
Yeah, we do. We have Mr. Reinecker, Mr. or Mrs. Reinecker. I honestly don't know. That could go either way. We have Sharon also kicked in. Zoe, Jack, Eric, Todd, all new Patreons. Thank you all very, very much. And a couple of recurring Patreons, which we already mentioned Lutris last week. Strider, good on you. Thank you very much. And Artherin also upped. Thank you.
No, man, that's...
Yeah,
that's wicked cool. I like giving everybody a shout out. Everybody's in the credits too. Stick around for the credits.
Oh yes,
that's awesome. If you join us on Patreon, you get some cool stuff back. We think it's cool stuff. You get a couple extra shows a month. You get 4 extra shows a month that we do, audio only. Check that out. You get access to the Discord where we hang out the other 6 days a week.
And people are asking where Blonde Me is.
Yep.
No, Blonde Me is dead.
It's terrifying. It's petrifying. If that's not your thing, man, we got a wish zone with some things on there that we had to buy last week because everything blew up. So spending's on a little bit of a freeze. But if you want to end up on Frank's wall of fine, upstanding cannibals, this is one I'm looking forward to. This is like a truly a wish thing. I want to get another Ring doorbell and put it down here. So when next time somebody rings the door and we're in the middle of doing the show, guess what? They're on it.
Ding dong.
Right. And I was like, oh, hello. And I have no issue doing that, Pedro, and I'll tell you why I have no issue doing that. Because if I get grumpy and I'm on tech support with somebody, halfway through I'm like, hang on, we got to go into commercial. And I will bring up a bumper. It's like, all right, we're out. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. I'll have them convinced they're on a show. Patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. 115 beautiful people. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We are tapping that merch run, very close to that, but forget about that. Forget about this next one, which will be an audio-only stream for both shows and a video RSS. No. What we're looking at is raising the bar. Jack minus. Just Jill.
Oh, yes.
Linux Chicks LA. She's going to be joining us each and every week, not with just this show, but with everything we do. So if you've been sitting back thinking, man, I want to throw 4 quarters a week at Pedro, do it, and we'll put it to good use. And we'll actually have somebody on this show that knows what they're talking about. I mean, come on.
That'd be nice for a change.
That'd be great, man. It would be terrifying. Now, shameless promotion over. Time for a slice. Man, that looks like something I drew.
Yeah. What is that pie made of? Human meat?
Quiet. You said too much.
Tonsils.
Ultimate Smart Door Lock. About the project, gain access by presenting RFID key fob, entering your PIN, touchscreen. Firstborn, solve an ancient Mayan. No, I'm just making that bit up. One-time code sent by. This is a nice little project. If you don't realize that, I'm just gonna kick the door in.
Yeah. Basically, use this on like a vault or something that you don't need to open very often because.
Oh, it's PHP my admin. Nope, bad, wrong. Get it away. Nope. Listen, okay. Now, do you think something's went horribly wrong in your life if you need firmware drivers and stuff for your wireless gerbil, your gaming gerbil? No. If entrance to your house has a back end running PHP, far worse.
Oh yeah, it runs its entire SQL database.
Yep, that was live footage of immediately.
Yep, what follows?
I don't know. Maybe it's a neat project. All the parts list, all this is in our show notes, like everything else. But I just wanted to mention that to everyone. Maybe it's listen. You're probably like me. You'll never retire. You know, even when we're in the home, we'll probably be doing some form of something like this. But if I ever retired and had like that straight up free time, I'd be doing stuff like this all day. I mean, I would burn through all my money just making needless things like that. This next one is a bit more useful. It is. So you may not know them. Particle, they make Wi-Fi and cellular. They call them IoT devices, but basically you can do them for whatever you want. You can use them for whatever you want. Slip of the tongue there. They are very, very underpowered when compared to even the Raspberry Pi Zero, even though they share the same form factor. The regular boards just come with 1 megabyte of flash and 256K of RAM. They do support Bluetooth 5, so think of these less as a whole computer like the Raspberry Pi, pardon me, and more like the modules that you would use to upgrade a prototype build that you're working on. Isn't the big thing Bluetooth with these is you can effectively build a mesh network on your own and roll it wicked cheap.
Yeah.
I was just wondering, man.
It is. They are cheap. They start at 15 if you want to get the really. No, sorry. They start at $9. If you want to get the really high end ones, I say really high end. They're still stupidly low powered. The Boron will come at $29, and shipping is due in July. So, if you're looking to augment your current prototype board and just have a mesh network that's not too costly, there you go.
I want to see what the actual throughput is on these, because I will wallpaper this house and finally defeat Jordan, who consistently violates the temporal accord and sneaks back during the construction of my house and installs mesh and Faraday cages where it's horrifying. Wi-Fi, it's a dead zone. You could probably do legitimate science experiments in here as to figuring out what's wrong with 2.45 in this house. It is bizarre. So that's good to see. Yeah. That's going to do us, ladies and gentlemen. Had a good time. But before we get out of here, we do like to give you an option, because we live off your feedback. It's our favorite part. To talk back to us. Pedro, they can head over Linux Gamecast. We got a contact button over there, don't we?
Oh yeah, linuxgamecast.com. There's the contact button, and there's a form you fill. Make sure to pick LWDW, and boom, your thing gets featured right here, right now. Well, right around this time in whatever show you happen to contact. Hey.
So wait until I get you guys on a poll, then I'm going to start decorating. Hot glue gun and glitter.
Give us bodies.
I've already priced out mannequins. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Somehow, not surprised.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I've already done that. Okay, last week we want to put a conclusion on this, so we don't have to roll it back on the Saturday show. But stick with us. This is about Sailfish OS, because we were contacted by Ivo, and he's like, "Hey, man, your podcast feed doesn't work on Sailfish OS using the Podcaster app and
Podcatcher. Yeah.
Podcatcher." So we chatted back and forth. Initially, this was like me waving, and it's like, everyone gather around. We in Discord is like, check this out. Somebody is still running Sailfish OS. This is awesome. Not making fun at all. I was like, that's kind of metal in its own way, and using it legitimately. And so we went back and forth, and our RSS feeds are fine, because this is another reason somebody had an issue with Sonos, and I checked on my Sonos and everything worked, but not a problem with our feeds. But I tried to help them. It's like, all right, do you get any errors or anything like that? It's like, it couldn't download. Turned out that application what was it called? Podcatcher?
Podcatcher, yeah.
Podcatcher was not including a valid user agent.
Mm-hmm. So it was misresolving the URL, and, well, no podcast for you.
Well, that's a thing that I have our web zone set up to do, so we don't get hit by a ton of bots. And it does the same thing with post. I mean, you can't do a post on our web zone without a user agent. But instead of blowing us up about it, he headed over to the GitHub page, created a ticket, look at it, it's so good, got it fixed, and
fixed it.
It's sorted. So if you want to listen to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays on Selfish OS, we got it down. We have it covered. Bob is, in fact, all of your uncles, because we hope you have more than one Bob. That's the thing. All right. It's been fun. It's been real. We got to bounce out of here because Pedro has dead fish to eat, but he's not going to cook it. So I think we need to roll some janky credits because I was testing out those drivers again, and man, NVIDIA 390.
Yep.
Kernel 415, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at the black tearing. Look at it.
It's pretty effing brutal.
Yeah, no, they really need to fix that. And even the CUDA drivers that they have on their CUDA repo.
It skips across monitors, man. No, on the 1080, it bypassed the it went from the 770 into the 980. Causing on the show note monitor, it was causing glitches. Oh wow, okay, this is bad.
It's hitting the GLX compositor, so basically every screen that's composited is going to see that.
Data Stop recording. All right, we'll hang out for like 5 minutes, but we gotta bounce.
Yep.
Oh, good show, everyone.
Yep.
Good show, Pedro. I like this. We can communicate in near real time again. It's like the old days.
Yeah.
I was slowly building my confidence up of being able to not necessarily talk over you, but interject without like 3 seconds of. So that's good. Hopefully everyone's digging that. We should be able to get Jordan on, because it turns out pretty easy to run multiple instances in security on Discord. They don't care how many times you log in.
Until someone finds a way to exploit that for something nefarious, then they have to do something about it.
Well, I mean, it kind of makes sense because you get it on mobile and you're probably going to have maybe the app opened and maybe opened in one of your web zone browsers.
But to be fair, even Skype already lets you log in multiple different devices. But if you try to log in the same account at the same device, no.
Oh, I can tell you a way around that.
Yeah. You create a different config folder, and you tell the other instance of Skype to use the other config folder.
Or you just run one version up or down.
Yeah. Which was easier to do when there were actual new versions of Skype coming out.
Here's my new Vapotron, everyone. I'm really happy I got
Red Stripe go faster?
Well, I already had this, but yeah. If I'm not here Thursday or Friday or Saturday, it's because this damn thing blew up in my face. I've been waiting on that since October, man, so.
You did say that was going to be the one that arrived that you had already forgotten about. It's like, oh, that's right. I ordered that. Right.
If you could tell, I'm not like crazy excited about it. Turns out 4 months of waiting on something, it shows up, and the excitement was like, oh, well, it made it here. All right. Because I ordered it when my Kangaroo drip box, like the latch broke, and I realized that I'd have to tear it apart in 3D print.
Yeah.
And he's like, too much trouble. It's like, zip ties to the rescue. And I was like, I should probably order something that's, it doesn't contain 2 lithium-ion grenades that's held together with zip ties. Probably not the best thing for safety. So that's when I ordered this. I pre-ordered it. And yeah, I've already got the other one back into working state. So that's the thing. Ven's vapes. No, we don't. I thought about doing, like, just getting dressed like I normally get dressed in a 3-piece, with a vest and all that, and do the anti-vape bro show. Do like anti-vape bro reviews. The gentleman It's like this. Listen, normal people play with these things too. They're not all annoying d-bags.
Yeah. Normal people usually just
Pedro's
you
a
see them
horrible
get
example.
off. Yeah, no, this one doesn't leave the house. So, but you see, like normal people,
Bye,
people who don't really
Steve.
care. They just want their nicotine hit. See you, Steve.
I don't even want that.
They,
I just want something to fuck around with.
This is my nicotine thing, and what I see people do is they walk off work and they're like waiting on the bus stop or before they get on their bikes, just right. I will in a moment. It's almost 9 p.m., so it's good time for dinner.
You have sushi.
Oh yes. Sushi for Nori because she likes sushi, and yakisoba for me.
The hell's yakisoba?
It's a pasta with that one has chicken and sweet chili sauce.
It's fucking spaghetti. All right, I got it.
Yeah. Different kinds of spaghetti. They have like the green one and the red one. It's mostly food dyes, but yeah.
Are we looking forward to Rise of the Tomb Raider? Listen, remember I was just talking about ordering something and it taking 4 months to get here? By the time it got here, even though it's my new cool toy, I was like, all right, it's here. That's frighteningly apt example of Rise of the Tomb Raider. But yeah, it's coming out in spring, which is a couple of months away.
I'm going to play the hell out of it.
I'm going to have a good time with it, but I'd be lying to you if it was like, oh my God. Because when they announce that, we get announcements from Feral because we're on their press thing. And I got up that morning, checked it, and I was like, Rise. I was like, oh shit. I even got out. I didn't finish reading it. I was like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and get right up and get that download going. And because that's normally what it is. It's like, yo, this is available. Go log into your press.
Out. Go.
Yeah, go log into your little press area, get your copy, and try it out. And I got up, and like, need tea, got tablet, put tablet in the dock in the kitchen, like, doop. Oh, it's available in spring. Oh, man. God.
Yeah. And it's available in the spring, so it can be anywhere from March 20 whatever to June 20 whatever.
The dates are in the show notes for that. It's like, okay, Google, when's spring? And that's exactly where those numbers came from, Pedro.
Yeah. So it could be anywhere from there.
They're surprisingly little this time, because when F1 came out, Vulkan only render. There was quite a little bit of re. It was like, but I want to say, listen, man, if your computer's incapable of running Vulkan, probably incapable of running the game. So
I still maintain that there's no reason for Nvidia not to support the 600 and 500 series cards when it comes to Vulkan. The 400s, yeah, that's maybe a bit too old, but there's no reason not to support for me. Come on. I
mean 700 is like, if you got somebody running a 700 card and they're gaming on it, and you're like, oh man, but you know if they cut everything down low enough, they're still going to be able to pull off 1080 on really low and 720p at a half decent. So you got Intel integrated supports the Vulkan, AMD supports the Vulkan. So yeah, I'm definitely with you, Pedro. I'm going to play the snot out of it, man. So
yeah. Yeah, the 600 does support it. It's the 500 that's the for me series. The 600 is already Kepler. Yeah. 600 and 700 are the Kepler series. 400s and the 500s are the Fermis. Yeah.
Trugs, I've heard a lot of people having really good success there. They've definitely paid close attention to Vulkan performance, specifically on Linux. That's one thing that we have to give them a ton of props for. I haven't broke down and bought a PS3 game yet. So that, and I know I'll go, oh, look, it starts. All right, never touch it again.
I need to download the newer app image of RPCS3 just because I want to try and play Demon Souls, the 1080p with the anisotropic filtering turned all the way up, and all the AAs and all the things.
Mm. Oh, I guess I should make that point. We have that benchmark render in chat room static.
BMW.
No, not for Blender. The benchmark for Handbrake, GHB, GPH.
Oh yeah.
The difference between 2933 memory and 3200, there was like an 8-second difference, but that could have been the difference between a 413 kernel and a 415 kernel too. It could be scheduling.
Or literally a process that was up in the background. It's like, whoop, what's going on? Nothing? Okay.
That was the one benchmark that I said, well, that's different.
Yeah.
If anyone saw me at 6:45 this morning running Talos benches and stuff, that's what I was doing.
Yeah. And Zoe, yes, your 620 supports Vulkan.
Yep, it does.
The 7th generation Core i5, yeah. Anything from, I don't know if they fix the Ivy bridge support, but Haswell, Broadwell, Skylake, Cabby Lake, Coffee Lake, and all the ones in between, those all support Vulkan. So if it's Haswell or newer, it supports Vulkan. That's the rule of thumb.
Good deal. And if you're on a Mac, you're stuck using Metal. That's Apple. Come on.
Oh, everyone else is getting in on this Vulkan thing. Apple's going like, no.
No, Apple walked in, they looked at Microsoft and they're like, oh, they're doing a proprietary, that's a horrible idea. Let's do that.
Completely different one.
Will it work on anything but our stuff? Oh, hell no. Oh, brilliant. Get on it. We at least used to be able to joke and say that the X12 would work on Windows Phone, but they killed that project too. It genuinely only works on Windows 10 Plus and Xbox. Like, wow.
And even then, the X12, it's not a single source tree to get it working on whatever platform, and then you just compile it for the different platforms. If you want to use the X12 on PC, you have to compile it specifically for PC and set the DX12s to accept whatever version of DirectX you currently have installed to feed that. And on the Xbox, it's a completely different render path. So it's like they saw the point of having a low-level API, and they completely overshot.
All right, we're going to be... Where do I have that set up? Bouncing out of here. It has been fun, remember? Patreon.com. Help the penguin make it rain. I'm getting some mileage out of that. All right, I'm sorry. Thanks everyone for your support. We will we'll be doing something Thursday, tomorrow. Yes, 2 days from now. Tomorrow, brilliant. And Saturday, Linux Gamecast Weekly. Come check us out. All right, Dadva, we love you.
All right,
bye. Can I put bunny ears on them? How's that work? Kinda. Ow.